What screams, "I'm not a good person"? Making fun of other people's appearances, especially of things that aren't easily, immediately fixable and cost money to do so, acne, crooked teeth, big noses and such. People recording themselves giving homeless people money or food, for social media. I'm glad someone posted this. Doing good deeds for likes and upvotes is a super shitty thing to do. The people who use, "if you can't handle me at my worst, you don't deserve me at my best," as a bio on Tinder or social media. Those people clearly are the worst and don't have a best. One-upping people on anything and everything. I'm really worried about my grandma, she had a bad fall today. Oh yeah, but my grandma died last year. Not taking personal responsibility for your actions and purposefully withholding important information from someone for your own self-preservation or selfish reasons. My friend told me that the person I was interested in knew my feelings for him, but conveniently left out the part that he felt the same way about me. Someone who goes out of their way to insult, criticize anyone for the smallest mistake, or inconsistency. Queue jumping. Those people cutting others off the line just because they think they should be first are spawns of the devil. To add to this, people who drive on the shoulder during traffic because they think they are somehow above sitting in traffic like everyone else. Schrödinger's douchebag, judging whether or not what you just said was a joke depending on the reaction of people around you. Stealing stuff, lying to people, avoiding your responsibilities and sticking someone else with the bill. Some dude who is always drunk in his early 40s worked at my job for a few months and he was telling me and my coworkers how he saw this guy's wallet on the ground who was in line in front of him, and after realizing it was his, he took it. Bragged about getting $300 because he's a dick and wouldn't return the guy's wallet. I know this sounds manipulative and rude, but manipulative statement shit like that. Just, "I know this sounds" or "I am not being" but statements in general. Never accepting blame for anything. Yeah, exactly, blaming everyone but yourself. Disrespectful of people's personal property in their home. I know someone who had a coworker house sit for them and the person completely rearranged the house. Needless to say, no one likes the coworker anymore. Consistently talking shit behind people's backs. Talking shit about mutual friends when they're not around. If they'll do that with your other friends, damn sure they're doing it with you too. And being nice, speaking to you on your own but in a group situation, showing off and being a dick to you. My first job was in retail, and I used to think the worst bottom of the pile people were the kind of people who would take a shitload of clothes from hangers, and try them on and just leave a heap on the floor in the change room. Or in grocery stores, the people who randomly decide they don't want that raw steak or gallon of ice cream they picked out, so they leave it in some random aisle on some random shelf, because they're too lazy and selfish to put it back. Laughing at, making fun of other people's interests and hobbies. This is a big one for me. Everyone likes their own stuff. Why do people feel the need to belittle other people's interests? It doesn't do anything but make you look like a jerk. I have former friends who did this all the time. They were then perplexed when I stopped calling to hang out. People who proudly state that they are assholes, and have no intentions to change for anyone. The world doesn't revolve around you, quit being a dick. People think that being self-aware completely ameliorates anything they've done wrong. It's one of the most obnoxious things. Never paying debts, even small ones. If you borrow money, even $1, with the promise to pay back, do so. The best ones are the ones where you ask for your money back and they're all, "Damn seriously, you're asking me for those $5 back? It's just $5. Yeah, it is, yet here you were a couple of weeks ago desperately asking for just $5. Being a dick to everyone else, then trying to excuse that behavior by saying, "I'm just brutally honest." The "I was only saying" defense. It's funny how they never are only saying something nice. It's always a put down. Constantly telling people you are a good person. I too am extraordinarily humble. I'll add mocking people for liking popular but harmless things. I think that's more socially acceptable to do, at least on Reddit, and annoys me just as much. Live and let live. Leaving your shopping cart in a parking space. Publicly ridiculing a person. It ruins their self-esteem and makes that person look bad. People will always blame everyone else for leaving them. Like, "All my exes were crazy" is probably not true, you probably did something to drive them off the edge. Not being introspective enough to realize you're the root of your problems is probably one. Playing music audibly on public transport when others can hear. See also, FaceTiming without headphones. Taking any kind of criticism or conflicting opinion as a personal attack. No, battering everyone else's opinions into the ground and eventually personally attacking others and questioning their intelligence for disagreeing with you isn't healthy discourse. Treating wait staff badly. If they're willing to be rude to someone in public, I can only imagine the kinds of stuff they say in private. A person who is nice to you, but not to the waiter, is not a nice person. People who aren't able to be excited for you when you succeed, no matter how small the success, they always see other people's success as a threat to their own worth. Then, they'll get upset if you don't celebrate for them. I had a best friend in HS, now an ex-BFF, who yelled at me that I didn't deserve to get a flute solo in our marching band show because I was drum major. Believe me, I didn't want it, ask for it, I have bad anxiety. Anyways, what makes it worse was that she had a major solo, the whole ballad 1 year, every single year. She just didn't know how to celebrate anyone but herself. That didn't happen. And if it did, it wasn't that bad, and if it was, that's not a big deal, and if it is, that's not my fault, and if it was, I didn't mean it, and if I did, you deserved it. Holy shit. There it is. All the options. Like a menu for assholes. The asshole menu. Punching down, i.e. treating those below you badly, be that at work, service workers, children, etc., because you perceive yourself as higher status. Going through this right now. Our boss has told me before, when discussing the trivial errands she has us run for her, I'm not going to do those things. I have more important things to do. I work 60 hours a week, I'm busy. And when I tell you to do it, I expect you do it without asking questions. She waits until the last minute for everything, and last week she gave me a huge project with a really absurd turnaround time. I asked for help and asked if we could all take a little of the workload to help make sure it's done on time. Well, she got pissed because she said she gave me a task and I tried to give it back to her and said I disrespected her. Not shockingly, everyone else in the office came together to help, except her. She didn't lift a finger. Currently planning my escape because she's truly sucking the life out of me. Too proud to apologize. Edit, thank you for the silver, kind stranger. This is the worst. I have a buddy who never apologizes. I understand if it was an accident and you didn't mean to spill your drink on me, but at least give a sorry instead of just saying, dude that sucks, or well I didn't think it would hit you. Being rude because you haven't had your coffee yet, or some similar excuse. Be an adult like the rest of us and learn to control your emotions regardless of your caffeine intake. Hurting animals. Yeah, hurting animals is a huge red flag. And it also doesn't stop there. Households with animal abuse are also linked with domestic child and other forms of abuse. It's also a precursor for assaulting a person or even moving on to murder. So many murders or serial killers have hurt or killed animals in the childhood. When you mention something from a prior conversation and when they don't remember having the conversation, they're like, I probably wasn't even listening, haha, like just say I don't remember, damn. But if I say I don't remember, don't start arguing that you did tell me. I didn't remember, now I do, let's move on. Playing the victim when confronted. This deserves more attention. My friend did this all the freaking time. Needless to say, we're not really friends anymore, but if you told her that she really hurt your feelings, she'd deny everything and walk away. Then she'd come back and try to guilt trip you. Saw this in another thread, but those people who throw popcorn onto the floor when they see a movie theater employee to give them something to do. I try to be a good person, but I am probably failing and I don't even know it. Anti-vaxxers. People that make their cats go vegan. I am vegan myself, but with you 100% on the cats. Veganizing your cat is as stupid and harmful as refusing to vaccinate your kids. Coughing, sneezing without covering your mouth, nose properly. As someone who gets fucking bronchitis every time I get a cold, fuck people who do this and spread their germs. If I could track down who got me sick, I would break into their homes and reverse all their taps so hot was cold and cold was hot. Saying that you can't be racist, homophobic, sexist, or religiophobic because you are a certain race, sexuality, sex, or religion. If you end up on entitled parents. Having the name Karen, and then taking the kids. If you are the sort of person who says, if I want to microwave fish at work, that's my right to eat what I want, you're a inconsiderate fucking worthless shit. Going on dates with men just for the free food. Yes, and, on the flip side, expecting a girl to put out because you paid for her dinner.